This lesson is on copying an angle using GeoGebra. To begin this lesson, I need to create an angle. So I'm going to use the points, and I'm going to drop 3 points, A, B, and point C. From there, I'm going to use the ray tool, and I'm going to select A and B, and then I'm going to draw another ray from point A to point C. I now have an angle created that I now want to duplicate. To do this, I need to create my bottom ray. So again, I'm going to select the point, and I'm going to click twice to create 2 points that I then can draw a ray beginning at point D, going through point E. Now the goal is to be able to duplicate this exact angle onto this ray over here. To do this, I need to mark the distance. So I'm going to use my compass, and I'm going to mark the distance from C to A. And I want to be able to take this same exact circle and center it down here at D. So I'm going to make sure my compass is selected again. I'm going to select point C and A, and I can slide that down to point D. Next, I'm going to use my point, and I'm going to mark the intersection of my bottom ray and my compass on both of my angles. Next, I want to use the compass tool, and I want to measure the distance or mark the distance from F to C. So I have my compass tool. I'm going to select F and C, and as you can see, I now have a new radius whose distance is the distance between C and F, whose radius. Okay. Next, I want to do the same thing, so I'm going to click F and C again and get that same exact circle that I now can center at point G. Now I'm going to use my point, and what I want to do is I want to mark the intersection between this circle and this circle. Okay, so try not to get confused with this circle that was drawn right here. So again, I'm looking at these 2 circles and the intersection of those 2 circles where I'm going to drop my point H. My last step is to create a ray that goes beginning at point D and goes through point H. So as you can see, I have now completed copying an angle. It is appropriate to use some of the GeoGebra tools to check and see if your construction is correct. So I'm going to use the angle tool, and I'm going to measure this angle and hope that I am very, very close. Keep in mind that there is always an element of error in this, so we may be a couple hundredths degrees off of our angle. So after clicking on angle, I'm going to select point B, A, and C, and as you can see, I ended up getting the angle 51 and 74/100 degrees. Next, I'm going to select the angle tool again. I'm going to select point E, D, and H, and as you can see, I did end up getting 51 and 74/100. So I did in fact copy the angle correctly, and this concludes our lesson on copying an angle.